with Bailey's Real Estate. This is Newstalk ZB News.
Good morning, it's 7:30. I'm Neva Reddy Manu. A large scrub fire burning in Canterbury remains out of control and uncontained. Multiple helicopters and aircraft are attacking the 535-hectare blaze near Lake Pearson from the air, with 15 vehicles in support. All but 11 homes self-evacuated in Castle Hill Village last night, but the fire is still a safe distance from the settlement. Incident Commander Dave Key told TVNZ a priority is to reopen State Highway 73 as soon as possible.
Multiple crews are patrolling the road and extinguishing the fire either side of the road.
Met Service is predicting cooler temperatures and lighter winds in the area today. The Police Minister is adamant his government will deliver on its promise of 500 new cops by the end of next year. New Police Commissioner Richard Chambers warned yesterday they're unlikely to meet those numbers until 2026. But Minister Mark Mitchell told Mike Hosking they're going to get as close to the target as they can.
Everyone is absolutely committed and still focused on delivering by 27th of November 2025. We know that it's aspirational. We know it'll be tight.
A view the benefits of facial recognition tech in supermarkets outweigh potential risks. Data analyst firm Skeleti has found a trial of the new technology at 25 Foodstuffs North Island supermarkets reduced harm by 16%. Security were alerted to offenders early and could intervene to prevent harm from escalating. Skeleti director and trial evaluator Adam Barker told Mike Hosking that there was a balance to be struck around privacy impacts.
What we found in that work was that the 16% reduction is more than enough to justify the privacy impacts in the view of most of the public.
Consumer NZ is happy to see this country is following in Australia's footsteps in taking stock of the nation's productivity and competition laws. The government says it makes sense to align with Australia due to our close economic ties. Consumer NZ Chief Executive John Duffy says that while these reviews will protect the future, some markets are already failing New Zealanders.
You can't uncook a chicken, so when mergers have happened, supermarket industry is a good example of this. It's very, very difficult to unwind.
Conservation advocates are reiterating calls to four-wheel drivers to cancel planned runs on rivers this Crate Day. The Ashley Rakahuri River Care Group's pleading for a change of attitude from drivers and passengers in North Canterbury after bird eggs were damaged on the unofficial holiday last year. New York police have released new photos of a suspect wanted over the murder of a top US executive. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot in the back in a premeditated attack on his way to a conference in Manhattan yesterday. The suspect is seen unmasked and smiling in the photos, which were taken prior to the shooting. Sky's Diana Magnay says another piece of evidence could be pivotal for the investigation.
Reportedly, bullet casings found at the scene had words inscribed on them: deny, deflect, depose, which may hint at a motive.
French President Emmanuel Macron is due to address his nation this morning following yesterday's ousting of Prime Minister Michel Barnier. Correspondent Vincent McAvaney says Macron's future is increasingly uncertain. He says Macron doesn't have a Prime Minister or a government and can't hold fresh elections until the middle of next year. Barnier is staying on as acting PM, including for this weekend's reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. That's Newstalk ZB News.
Newstalk ZB Sport. The issue of slow over rates has been raised ahead of the second cricket test between New Zealand and England at Wellington's Basin Reserve. Both teams were sanctioned as a punishment for sluggishness in the Christchurch test. England captain Ben Stokes has railed against the crime because of variables such as more pace than spin bowling being used outside the subcontinent, which takes more time. New Zealand skipper Tom Latham wants the problem taken upstairs to the DRS.
It's certainly a challenge to get through those 15 overs an hour. If the ball's flying to the boundary a little bit more than usual. We've seen subcontinent where a lot of spins used, where that isn't necessarily an issue, but maybe that's something that does need to be reviewed.
Test 2 begins at 11 this morning. A fine day is forecast in the capital. Meanwhile, 11 former New Zealand internationals are the first to be inducted into the national body's inaugural Hall of Fame. Bert Sutcliffe, John Reid, Jackie Lord, Trish McKelvey, Glenn Turner, Sir Richard Hadley, Debbie Hockley, Martin Crowe, Emily Drum, Daniel Vittori and Brendan McCullum are the first 11 names on the team sheet. Newstalk ZB's international cricket coverage with General Finance. Check out their great secured term deposit rate. One Test All Black, Harry Plummer, has revealed his reasons for departing the Blues and New Zealand rugby after next year's Super Rugby title defence. Plummer revealed late last month he'd signed with ASM Clermont on a 3-year deal, just months after making his All Blacks debut. He says he could feel his path blocked and playing more Test rugby behind Beauden Barrett, Damien McKenzie and potentially a returning Richie Mo'unga.
I've got no bad blood with anyone at New Zealand Rugby or Blues. It's just the way it goes, and you can't play footy in New Zealand forever, I guess, and it's the same for a lot of countries.
In headlines, a poor third quarter has cost the Breakers their third consecutive Australian Basketball League defeat, going down 97-70 to Melbourne United. Mercedes driver George Russell has accused Formula One champion-elect Max Verstappen of bullying and threatening behaviour as a dispute between the pair at Monday's Qatar Grand Prix deepened. I'm Adam Cooper, that's Newstalk ZB News and Sport 2:25 to 8.
Newstalk ZB Auckland. Time saver traffic.
Takapuna Christmas shopping done right. Don't stress this Christmas. The Southern Motorway moderate heavy citybound, Manurewa through to Highbrook. Again from Ellerslie through to Green Lane. The northern moderate heavy citybound coming in from Constellation. Northwestern moderate and building citybound from St Luke's. Takapuna shopping, relaxed beachside atmosphere. Lots of shops, cafes and parking. Takapuna Christmas done right.
Newstalk ZB Weather Watch 24/7 with Panasonic Fire TV's bonus gift on now. Manukau, southwest 20 knots, easing to 15 this evening. Waitemata, southwest 15, rising to 20 this morning and afternoon. Hodaki Gulf, southwest 20, easing to 15, and a strong wind advisory. Bream head to Cape Colville. Southwest 20, but 25 gusting, 35 knots around the channel. Southwest easing to 15 everywhere this evening. High tide at Auckland, midday, and at Onehunga, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Today, cloudy periods. Tomorrow, fine, but becoming cloudy in the morning. And ahead to Sunday, partly cloudy. Today's high 22. Tonight's low 15. Currently, we're sitting on 17 degrees. Here at Newstalk ZB.
Big news, bold opinions. The Mike Hosking Breakfast with the Range Rover Velar, designed to intrigue. Newstalk ZB.
23 minutes away from 8. Tim and Katie do the week for the final time this year after 8 o'clock. Meantime, given it's the festive season, the Prime Minister drops in to say hello and goodbye. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Do you want the serious stuff first? A couple of serious things since I talked to you on Tuesday. Scrutiny Week, broadly speaking, is it worth it or not?
Well, look, I mean, it's an innovation from Parliament. That's, I think, the first time we've been doing it. Look, I think, anything that tries to give people more visibility as to what's going on, transparency is probably worth it. I haven't checked in with my guys as to how they found it, but, look, I think that's not a bad thing.
Okay, have you seen the OECD report on New Zealand this morning?
I haven't seen it this morning,
It's
no.
doer.
Yeah.
It is a doer story. So our projected growth for next year is 1.4%, 2026 is 2.1%, the world is at 3.3%, so we're trailing the world. New Zealand also faces an investment gap in addressing the needs of a rapidly growing population. This is essential to tackle low productivity growth and high electricity future prices. Labour productivity growth has fallen markedly since 2021. GDP growth has been driven by an expansion of labour. Most of the people coming to this country are low and medium skilled people. High bank margins, capital costs, reduced demand for credit. High futures electricity prices will exacerbate productivity problems, and so it goes. I mean, that's a bad
What a
report.
marvellous set of challenges to deal with, Mike.
Well, I mean,
to get ourselves to a better place.
I mean, I'm not sitting here blaming you. You've only been here for a year, but I mean, that's...
No, but it's dead right. I mean, if you think about it, the last 30 years, what we've had is a productivity disease. We've been in the bottom quarter, basically, of economic productivity. That means that we're all working frickin' hard, but we're actually not able to create the value that we need to be able to have a high standard of living. And you think about places like Ireland and Denmark and Singapore and New South Wales states, other 5 million type people places. When you say, why are they wealthier to us? And I've studied this for about 20 years. It comes down to about 5 things. It's education, it's science, technology, innovation. What you're seeing at Fonterra, where they're really adding lots of value to their product services. It's definitely infrastructure. We've got a hell of big problem there to sort through. Red tape and obviously trade and investment. And, we've got thin pools of capital. We've done a very poor job of attracting foreign investment to this country. The mentality has been, welcome to New Zealand, but, it's a privilege for you to invest here, versus we should be saying thank you for bringing your money here. And we're 38th out of 38th in the OECD at attracting foreign investment as well.
Do you think most people, we've talked about this as a theme a number of times this year, do you think most people truly understand how troubled this country is?
No, and I don't. And I know when I've sort of said how much damage was done in that 6-year period, you get a bit over that. The reality is I now own it, and we've got to fix it and deal with it. But we've got to get the long-term foundations in place. When you have 45% of your kids going to school regularly and 55% not, which is what happened when we started, you're sitting there going, well, England's sitting at 82%, we're sitting at 45%. Well, how are we supposed to be competitive with England and with Australia and with Canada and other places that we think are like-minded places if we can't sort that stuff out? If 4 out of your 5 kids arrive at high school not where they need to be on maths, and 1 out of 2 where they need to be on reading, that's serious stuff, right? Because that seriously is about how you get the leaders in artificial intelligence and agri-science and 4-lane highways up to whangarei and engineers and all that good stuff if you don't get those things sorted. It's the same on investment and infrastructure. We've managed infrastructure very, very poorly. We run the country like it's 1975, and we have to think about how we do infrastructure very differently.
Do you think the mentality, see, one of the things is the media's fault as much as anything else, there is no shortage of people in your time in office who genuinely believe that you are the answer to everything for money. So we're short of money, this didn't work, that didn't work, the government will wipe my bum. So that's the mentality in this country, that only a government can fix it. The idea of working hard, doing better, improving yourself is beyond most people.
Well, that's what we've got to, that is exactly the notion we have to put in place. Because I had it last night, I was talking to someone in the healthcare sector, and I was just saying, well, the difference is between New South Wales and New Zealand, they're 35% wealthier than New Zealand now. So if you don't build out a better quality economic engine, you can't deliver the public services that people have expectations of. Ireland's a case study. I've been there a few times now, and I went there to study education and also how they do infrastructure development and investment. That was a country that had 75% of the wealth of New Zealand, same per person, same size country, now twice as wealthy as New Zealand. So you get twice as many GPs, you get twice as many teachers. So when I talk the economy, it's not because I'm focused on money and I'm a commercial guy. It's actually because what that enables is actually a better healthcare system, better infrastructure system, better school system.
Okay, well, you've got 2 more years, I guess, to sell it to us. Having said that,
we're going to need a bit longer than 2 more years, I'd say.
It seems weird. It seems weird to me. It was only a year ago. This time last year, you're at the Quarters Hotel. It seems longer ago than that, doesn't it, or not?
It does feel that to me, but I guess that's with every week just goes by so quickly, and a lot happens in a week as well, as my observation. And you don't really have time to digest because you're just moving things forward to reflect that much. And I'll probably get a chance to do that over summer a little bit. But yeah, it's been a full-on 12 months. But it's been a great 12 months. I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, because you're in the mix, you're in the arena, sort of pulling levers, making choices, making decisions. Whereas I found in opposition, you didn't get to do anything. It's an interesting
point. My criticism of you would be you've not gone hard enough, but take that for whatever it is. Do you feel...
That would be a standard criticism I would have thought from you.
Do you feel like you are in a job that you thought it would be something where you could make genuine change, and you are doing it?
Yeah, I do actually. I genuinely think that the opposition job is really hard, right? And I remember looking at it and thinking about all the leaders that we've had of the National Party. They're all on a photo on the wall at National House, which is the head office of our party. And I think there's only 6 that have won elections, and there's a number of that were, followed on from leaders that, at the end of terms. But it's a hard job because you don't have anything to do. But now, and as a Prime Minister, that's the job you want, because you can actually pull the levers. And in the centre, you have to be really brutally clear and directive when you're doing a turnaround. And otherwise, by the time it ripples out through the system, change doesn't happen. And there's a lot of things. I mean, you can get very lost in it if you don't have great clarity and choose what you are doing and what you're not doing right now. Because otherwise, you're boiling the ocean, you're just bumper stickering your way through it and papering over the cracks and actually not doing things properly. And we've got some real challenges. There's no doubt about it. But we have to. We want to try, right? We have to get to a better place.
Explain to a person like me who would criticise you for not going hard enough or harder than you are. Do you believe you're going as hard as you can, or have you discovered something that prevents you from going further than you have?
The problems are more complex often than they feel, just when you do look observing them from outside. So when you get inside the problem, that takes you a bit of, they're quite complex by the time they come your way. But no, look, I think we are. I mean, you've got 2 choices on the economic front. You could carry on doing exactly what the last lot did, which was spend more, tax more, borrow more, not deliver. Or you could go what we've seen around the world, which is into hard austerity, and that's not good either. That has got a whole bunch of consequences and implications. And we are genuinely trying to find that third way through, which I think we've done well. And Nicola and I, working through the budget process, where we actually are giving people tax relief. You're able to actually put some investment into future infrastructure. But we're going to need, for infrastructure development, for example, we are going to need outside pools of capital, because we can't just use our balance sheet and wait to get roads built in 2060. We have to do things sooner than
It's funny you should say that, because Larry, Fran Sullivan's got a piece in the paper this morning that deals with, you met Larry Fink at BlackRock. BlackRock are the same company that pulled the plug the other day on Solar Zero. So do you want them in or not? I mean, are they the sort of people we want to deal with or not?
Well, the point is that around the world there is trillions of dollars of sovereign wealth money, right? Like basically, it's I think I told you, like I had dinner with Modi, and he said he's got a new university he's opening every week. He needs something like 2,000 planes. So you think about the hundreds of millions of people coming out of poverty who now moved from subsistence living into the middle class, and they want to go travel, they want to go get educated for their kids, and they actually want to save some money for retirement. Well, all of those funds need to be invested. So everywhere I go, if overseas, I take 2 hours and I go bring them the biggest investors from those countries and meet with them for lunch.
But is the money coming?
They are open to wanting to invest in New Zealand. I want their money, and the problem is the middleware, which is actually they don't know what's here to invest in. And we need to basically put deal sheets together to actually say, look, we've got a whole bunch of roads, we've got a whole bunch of other assets that are available to you, and we've got to change some of the settings, which we're working our way through.
Okay.
So I do think, Mike, there is actually, the door's open, we just got to push it open and barge through it.
Do you, I need to take a break and we will, but think about this during the break. The Spotify rap of yours.
Yeah.
Are you a fraud? More in a moment. 14 away from 8.
Hi, I'm Mike from Waitemata Backyard Beds. Ever stayed in a quality hotel here or overseas and loved the bed so much you wish you could take it home with you? Well, now you sort of can at Waitemata Backyard Beds with our exclusive AH Bed Hotel collection. We have a selection of the models that are typically used internationally in 4- and 5-star hotels. For hotel practicality, these robust mattresses feature minimal partner disturbance pocket spring support systems. They're not over-the-top, ultra-luxurious beds, but they are darn comfortable, well-priced options for your everyday, every-night bed, or of course your holiday home. Come in and check out our hotel collection beds in one of our 5 Auckland stores. Today, preferably.
Waitemata Backyard Beds and Beds. You're looking for somewhere special to build your new home, but everywhere feels the same. What would an artist do? They'd surround themselves with natural beauty, beaches, fellow artists, winemakers and foodies. They'd design their own dream home that'd be crafted, not built. Create your dream home at Warkworth Ridge, the centre of Auckland's artisan region. Sections start at $495,000. Search Warkworth Ridge for more.
With interest rates dropping, there's no better time to start your home build journey with Stonewood. With over 35 years' experience, Stonewood Homes will turn your vision into reality. Bring your ideas to us and explore from over 400 customisable designs that offer unmatched flexibility. From start to finish, trust our dedicated team to guide you every step of the way. Visit stonewood.co.nz. Or call 0800 86 0000 today.
Airpoints has you covered this Christmas. From that last-minute gift to something for the barbecue. Shop with Airpoints partners or at the Airpoints store to be in to win a share of 30,000 Airpoints dollars and more. Ends 22nd December. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply.
Please use your imagination for the following ad.
If I won Powerball, I'd build my dream. Then I'd even things out with a massive donation to...
Imagine winning $17 million this Saturday. Play in store or online.
Hi, Mike from Waitemata Backyard Beds again. Want a new bed in time for Christmas? Order your mattress or bed from our new hotel collection or from our King Coil or Sealy pre-Christmas sale before Sunday the 15th, and we'll have it available for you before Santa comes. Rest assured.
Big stories, big opinion.
Due to the cuts, government agencies are spending very little on their Christmas parties, if anything. I think everyone accepts that whatever workplace you're in, that you're going to have a party. And that's the bare minimum, that there's a decent knees up at the end of the year.
That would be a bit of a slap in the face to the employees, whether you're public service or not.
The farm to forestry changes involve a lot of numbers. I totally accept Todd McClay saying we need to do our bit, but we do not have to be leading the charge.
Every view from every angle. Newstalk ZB.
Newstalk ZB, 11 away from 8. Prime Minister for the last couple of months. Just a couple of quick things.
Sorry, that was quite an accusation you made before the break.
It was an accusation,
I was a fraud.
But to be fair, I thought that you were elevated to Prime Minister of this country based on your love of country music. And so then I see the Spotify rap and there's next to no country music on it.
Yeah, well, there is actually. Post Malone and Dua Lipa did a great song, Think I'm in Love with You. If you do one thing, Mike, you've got 3 things to do for me over the holidays. One is you got to listen to F1 Trillion, which is Post Malone's country collaboration album. Brilliant, the best album of the year.
Right.
Think I'm in Love with You, which is a Chris Stapleton song, but he did a duet with Dua Lipa, which is just unbelievable, song of the year.
Yes.
And the third thing I think you need to do is actually need to watch Day of the Jackal, which is with Eddie Redmayne. That is like the best TV show I've seen.
TVNZ Plus. Are you spruiking TVNZ Plus because they're losing so much money?
Well, we're doing everything we can to make them more profitable. Yeah.
Very good. Now, the present I have for you, open this is a prototype. This is, first of all, it's one of one. It's unique.
This sounds special.
It's a prototype, and there is I believe, bigger, and if not more bigger, a more luxurious version of this coming. So open.
Is it sort of like driving gloves or something?
Well, they're not. No, they're not. They're not driving gloves. But
I'm not allowed to drive anymore.
I think you'll be impressed. No one has ever been given one of these because it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
Oh, look at this. The complete guide to surviving a Mike Hosking interview.
So look for the instructions.
That is genius. That is genius.
It's not bad, eh? So we'll get a leather-bound version of that when it's completed.
It's a total mystery to me 12 months after having done these interviews with you as to how they work. Can I give you my guess?
Yes, you can. Of course you can.
All right. So,
do you want to keep the bag?
Not only that, you get a beautiful card.
Oh, that's nice.
You are the very first person that I have given this card to.
No way.
It's a lovely photo of myself and my stunning wife Amanda. It's got a handwritten note inside, so there you go. It can be on the string that you put in the office studio.
No, that's an awesome photo. Is that taken in front of your hedges?
Yeah, that's in front of the hedges at home.
Okay, very good indeed.
Yeah. Oh, I know you appreciate a good ficus hedge, don't you?
I love a good ficus. What now? What?
Now look, this is your furikake seasoning. Now, I mean, I don't know for your listeners, most of us would just use, people like me who are men of the people.
Are you on this?
No, of course not. I just use salt. I mean, I come from a very humble background, but you look at this, and this is what really posh people do. It's like seasoning, and I think you've got I think it's like seaweed that gets sort of extracted in some complicated process up north, and there's apito salt, and
you put that on your food.
Yeah, I know. It's what I read about. You put it on your poke bowl and your smashed avocado toast and stuff like that. I imagine you're sitting around with your slippers and your pajamas.
I love it. Absolutely.
And then the other thing is, you often comment when I come in with my water bottle.
Yes.
You say, Chris, what's in the water, and why is it? And you sort of accused me of it being a sort of urine sample at one point and all sorts of things. But I brought you, this is my special energy Voos. Now, this is posh Barocca, basically, is what you're getting here. And sometimes I come in and you're a bit grumpy, and sometimes you're happier. And I just think if you put that into your day, that would be quite good.
It's going to transform my life.
Yeah, there you go.
You're a good bloke. I'm going to enjoy that over the holiday period, and I'll be a whole new man on the Voos next year. You and Amanda and kids and everything, you have a lovely Christmas.
You do the same, mate. It's been a big year for you, so have a great break.
Take care. See you soon. Christopher Luxon, 8 away from 8.
Newstalk ZB headlines.
Large vegetation fire in Canterbury expected to have grown overnight. A suggestion young inmates aren't being properly equipped for life outside prison. Hints of a potential motive in the shooting of a top US executive in New York. And in sport, the Breakers form slump continues while their star signing remains injured. Retirement Village residents get $9,900 bill for complaining. You can read more at NZ Herald Premium.
Newstalk ZB Auckland. Time saver traffic.